Why are we talking about Hebrews during Black History Month? Let's go to Isaiah or Yeshaya, the 63rd chapter.
Praise the mighty God.
Because the Hebrews are black people.
That right?
And Yahweh is interested in the Hebrews.
Yes,
Isaiah or Yeshaya, the 63rd chapter.
Praise the mighty God.
Isaiah, the 63rd chapter. And the title of this Hebrew History Month special is, Though Abraham be ignorant of us, and Israel acknowledge us not. Though Abraham be ignorant of us, and Israel acknowledge us not, that still doesn't stop something else from being true. Isaiah 63, and we want to read one verse, verse 16. Isaiah 63, let's read verse 16, please. And it reads, Doubtless thou art our father, though Abraham be ignorant of us, and Israel acknowledge us not. Thou, O Yahweh, art our Father, our Redeemer. Thy name is from everlasting. So, Isaiah 63 and 16, let's read it again, please.
Doubtless thou art of Abba, through Abraham, though Abraham be ignorant of us, and Israel acknowledge us not. Thou, O Yahweh, art our Abba, our Redeemer. Thy name is from everlasting.
So here is Yeshua saying, doubtless, Yahweh is our Abba. He's the Hebrews' father. And it says, though Abraham be ignorant of us. We're going to find out why he's ignorant of modern Hebrews today. And Israel doesn't acknowledge us. We're going to find out why they wouldn't acknowledge us. It says, oh Yahweh, you're still our Abba. You're still our Father. And you still sent Yahshua to be our Redeemer. And your name is still from everlasting. Let's go to 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter. Or 2 Shemuel, the 7th chapter. So Yahweh chose the nation of Israel for his people. And the Hebrews are the nation of Israel. 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter. So we may be moving a little fast. We have a lot to cover this month. 2 Samuel 7, we're going to read verse 23.
And what one nation in the earth is like thy people, even like Yisrael, whom Elohim went to redeem for a people to himself, and to make him a name, and to do for you great things and terrible for thy land, before thy people, which thou redeemest to thee from Mizraim, from the nations and their Elohims.
Says, all right, so Yahweh chose the nation of Israel for his people. 2 Samuel says, and what Akkad Goi in Ha'ered is like thy am, even like Yisrael. There's no people like Israel. There's no people like us.
None.
Whom Elohim went to redeem.
Yes.
For am to himself.
Wow.
And to make him a Shem.
Okay.
So we're talking about the Hebrews, because this is Hebrew History Month.
That right?
And Yahweh wants us to know, what are we here for?
Okay. Praise the mighty
He
God.
redeemed us to himself to make a name for himself and to do for you, talking about his people, Israel or the Hebrews, great things and terrible for your land, for your Amma people whom thou redeemest to thee from Mizraim, from Hagoi and their false deities.
Okay.
Let's go to Exodus, the 6th chapter. Yahweh chose the nation of Israel for his people, and Hebrews are the nation of Israel.
Yes,
That's why this is Hebrew History Month.
All right.
Exodus, the 6th chapter. And the Hebrews need to know who they are.
Yes, we do.
And we're going to find out in this series. That's why we take advantage of this month, because there are people that are searching the radio airwaves and the TV airwaves to see, because at this particular time they do put on extra things about quote unquote black people. So this is the prime time to put it on.
Hallelujah.
All right, Exodus 6th chapter and verse 5.
Hallelujah.
And I have also heard the groaning of the children of Israel, whom the Mizraim keep in bondage, and I have remembered my covenant.
Here
Okay.
is Yahweh. He just said in 2 Samuel, what nation in the earth is like his people? Even Israel. Israel, or the Hebrews, are Yahweh's people.
Right, right.
Now, and he said he redeemed them out of Mizraim or Egypt.
That right.
Here we are in Exodus. He says, I have also Shemar the groanings of my band of Israel, whom the misery Shemar in bondage, and I have remembered my berith. So Yahweh has a berith or covenant with Israel or the Hebrews. When Yahweh heard them groaning under the bondage of the Egyptians, who were also a black people,
Right, right.
then he remembered his covenant. We're going to find out what covenant he's talking about that he made with the Hebrews. All right, verse 6.
Wherefore, say unto the children of Israel, I am Yahweh, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of Mizraim, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm, and with great judgments.
Verse 7.
And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you a Elohim. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh your Elohim, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Mizraim.
All right, we read it in 2 Shemuel. Now we're reading it in Exodus.
Right, right.
He said, wherefore, Amar unto Haman of Israel, I am Adon, or master, or I am Yahweh, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the misery. And I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great shaphat. And I will take you to me for a people. Israel is Yahweh's people. He chose them.
Right, right.
And I will be to you a Elohim, Almighty One. And you shall yada that I am Yahweh your Elohim, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the misery. All right, let's go to Leviticus, the 26th chapter. Just looking at how Yahweh chose the nation of Israel for his people. And the Hebrews are the nation of Israel.
Yes, we are.
So this is their month.
Yep.
Leviticus 26. We're going to start at verse 11.
Hallelujah.
And I will set my tabernacle among you, and my soul shall not abhor
Now
you.
Yahweh's talking about setting his temple and setting up his holy places
Right,
in the
right.
middle, in the midst of his people Israel.
Right, right.
The Hebrews, verse 12.
And I will walk among you, and will be your Elohim, and ye shall be my people.
Hallelujah.
Keep saying you shall be my people.
Hallelujah.
I will walk among you, and I
Yes.
will be your mighty one, and you shall be my am. Verse 13.
I am Yahweh your Elohim, which brought you forth out of the land of Mizraim, that ye should not be their bondmen. And I have broken the bands of your yoke, and made you go up.
Hallelujah.
So some of the things that Yahweh is doing for us,
Hallelujah.
that's why this is Hebrew History Month. These
Hallelujah.
things that he wants to do for us. He said, I am Yahweh your Elohim, which brought you forth out of the land of Mizraim, that you should not be their bondmen,
Yes.
be in slavery to no man,
Right.
physically or mentally.
That right.
And I have broken the bands of your yoke and made you
Yeah.
go Tommy.
Yes, he has.
Made you go upright.
Yes, he
We're
has.
learning how to go upright. We're finding
Hallelujah.
out how to go upright by reading what
That's
he wrote.
it.
Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter. But the first thing we have to understand is who we are when
That
we're
right.
reading this book.
That's the
Because we
only
have
way.
read, some of us have read this book as we grew up for years and didn't realize we were reading about ourselves.
Y'all right.
We thought we were
Y'all
reading about
right, bro.
somebody
Tell
else.
it like it is.
We didn't know that Israel was us.
No, we
didn't
did
know
not.
we were the Hebrews.
No.
Yahweh said, now it's time. Stand up and tell my people who they are.
Hallelujah.
And let them know this is not Black History Month. This is Hebrew
That's
History
what it
Month.
is.
Yes. Deuteronomy 32. Let's start at verse 9, please.
Hallelujah.
For Yahweh's portion is his people.
Yes.
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
So
Hallelujah.
Yahweh's portion is his people, and who are
Yes.
his people? Israel.
Yes,
Who are his
right.
people? The Hebrews.
That's right.
He said Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Okay.
So we're going to find out why he mentioned this man Jacob. All right? Because that's where he really started coming into the Hebrews, and we're going to look at the 12 tribes
Hallelujah.
of the Hebrews.
Hallelujah.
All right, verse 10.
He found him in the desert land and in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. he kept him as the apple of his eye.
Yes.
All right, he's talking about his people, Yisrael or the Hebrews.
Yeah.
He found them in a desert place.
Yes, he did.
And in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about. He musar him. He shamar him as the apple of his eye.
Right.
So Yahweh is interested in the Hebrews.
Yes,
They're
he is.
very important to him.
We got the apple
All
of his
right,
eye.
let's go to Genesis or Bereshit, the 32nd chapter. So we saw he mentioned Jacob, or Yaakov, which is the Hebrew name. Jacob is the anglicized name. So Yaakov is one of the Hebrew patriarchs,
Right.
or the men of the lineage of the Hebrews. Genesis 32. And we want to start reading at verse 28. Genesis 32. And let's read verse 28, please.
And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Yisrael, for as a prince hast thou power with Elohim and with men, and hast prevailed.
Yes.
Yahweh is talking to Yaakov here.
Right.
We're going to read in the next verse that he's talking to Yaakov.
Right.
And this appears to be a time when Yahshua came to the earth. And you can read the factual account about Yaakov wrestling with this heavenly being.
Right.
And then here, his name is being changed from Yaakov to Yisrael. He says, Amar, thy Shem shall be Kara no more Yaakov, but Yisrael. He said, for as a Nasi hast thou Mashel with Elohim and with Adam, and has prevailed.
Yes, we do.
All right. So the heavenly being that he was wrestling with had the power to change his name.
Yeah, right.
And he was letting him know that he had power with Elohim and with men, and he prevailed.
Yes, we do.
He changed his name from Yaakov to Yisrael. All right, verse 29.
And Yaakov asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there.
Now this heavenly being, Malachim don't have the ability to bless men.
No, they don't.
Here is this heavenly being, and he had the ability to bless Yaakov.
Praise the mighty Yahshua.
And Yaakov asked him and Amar, tell me, I palau thee thy Shem. And he Amar, wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my Shem? And he barak him there.
Right.
All right, verse 30.
And Yaakov called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen Elohim face to face, and my life is preserved.
Now here's Yaakov letting you know the Ruach told him.
Right.
And Yaakov Korah Hashem of the place Peniel. For I have seen Elohim face to face, and my Kai is preserved. Because it's not possible for men to see Elohim face to face and Kaya or live.
That's right.
All right, let's go to Exodus, the 7th chapter. So out of Yaakov came the 12 tribes of Israel, or the nation of Hebrews. In Egyptian slavery, Yahweh reconfirmed the nation of Israel are the Hebrews. Go to Exodus 7. I'm going to read one verse.
Praise Maria.
Exodus 7 and verse 16.
Hallelujah.
Some people may tell you, okay, no, the nation of Israel, not the Hebrews.
Right.
Well, you read the factual account, you'll see that the nation of Israel went down to Mizraim, and then now Yahweh is coming to say, let my people go.
Right.
And he's going to let you, he's asking to let go. These 12 tribes are the nation of Israel. They are the Hebrews. Now he's going to let you do it. Exodus 7, verse 16, please.
And thou shalt say unto him, Yahweh Elohim of the Hebrews has sent me unto thee, saying, let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness, and behold, hitherto thou wouldest not hear.
Now here he says, and thou shalt amar unto him, talking to Pharaoh.
Right.
The Egyptian Pharaoh.
Right.
Yahweh Elohim of Ibryi has sent me unto you, Amar, let my am go, that they may abid me in the wilderness. And behold, hitherto thou wouldst not shamar. But he said, I'm Yahweh Elohim of the Hebrews.
Right.
And we just read the scripture where he said, Israel are my people. The Hebrews are Israel.
Right.
Israel are the Hebrews.
Yes, we are.
And this is Hebrew History Month.
Yes, it is.
He said, let my people go. All right, let's go to Exodus 9th chapter. Exodus 9. And read one verse there, verse 13, Exodus 9,
Hallelujah.
and verse 13, please.
And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus saith Yahweh Elohim of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me.
All right, so he's saying again,
Hallelujah.
because our people were in slavery in Egypt.
Right.
And he said, I'm the Elohim of the Hebrews,
Okay.
which is the nation of Israel.
Yes.
Also the nation of the Hebrews.
Right,
and
right.
Yahweh amar to Moshe, Rise up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh, and amar to him, Thus amar Yahweh Elohim of the Hebrews.
Okay.
O Ibryi, let my am go, that they may ebed me. Okay, let's go back to Genesis, the 49th chapter. So the nation of Israel, or Hebrews, are made up of the 12 tribes.
Right.
Genesis 49.
Hallelujah.
Praise
Praise
Yahweh.
Revelation knowledge.
This is a season for us to go through and review this and find
Yes.
this out.
Yes.
This is important.
And very.
Genesis
For your
49. Let's read verse 28, please.
Hallelujah.
The nation of Israel, or Hebrews, are made up of the 12 tribes.
That right.
All right, Genesis 49 and 28.
All these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is it that their Abba spake unto them, and blessed them, every one according to his blessing he blessed them.
All right, and then you can read this whole chapter if you want to find out who the 12 tribes of Israel are. But it says, all these are the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is it that their Abba, talking about Yaakov,
Right.
Amar unto them and barak them, every Akkad according to his barak, he barak them.
Okay.
Let's go back to Exodus, now the 28th chapter. So the 12 tribes of the Hebrew nation is a foundational truth on the earth.
Yes, it
This is
is.
a foundational truth on the earth.
Yes, it is.
Exodus 28.
Praise be to the mighty Yah. Yahweh, so the ams can
Yahweh,
know.
hallelujah. Exodus 28, and read one verse. Verse 21. This is a
Praise
foundational
Yahweh.
truth. Now the 12 tribes of the Hebrew nation is a foundational truth on the earth.
Yes.
Exodus 28. So if you don't know that, kind of like we just finished singing that song. I didn't have a clue.
Right.
All right, Yahweh wants to clue us in. This is
Yes,
what
he
he's
does.
doing now.
Yes, he will.
All
Yes,
right,
he
let's
has.
read verse 21, please.
Praise Yahweh.
And the stones shall be with the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engraving of a signet. Every one with his name shall they be according to the 12 tribes.
So here is Yahweh setting up the Kohen, the priesthood, setting up Israel as the spiritual head of the earth.
Right.
And he's talking about the breastplate that the high priest was to wear. This man that was going to be in touch with Yahweh and to stand before Yahweh's people and to minister to Yahweh's people and to sacrifice and do different things that Yahweh ordained him and them to do.
Right.
He said, the stones or swords shall be Hashem of Haban of Israel. 12. Talking about the 12 tribes. According to their Shem, like the engravings of the signet, every Akkad with his Shem shall there be according to the 12 tribes. Let's go to Yahshua or Joshua, the 4th chapter. So this 12 tribes of the Hebrew nation is a foundational truth. And Yahweh mentions it often. Joshua 4.
Yep. Wants us to get it.
It does. Joshua 4. And we want to start reading at verse 3.
Hallelujah.
Joshua 4 and verse 3. We notice how Yahweh is using these 12 tribes and using the number 12 after the tribes because it's a foundational truth in the earth. Joshua 4 and verse 3.
Praise Yahweh.
And command ye them, saying, Take you hence out of the midst of Jordan, out of the place where the priest's feet stood firm, 12 stones, and ye shall carry them over with you, and leave them in the lodging place where ye shall lodge this night.
So you see how Yahweh's using that 12 stones, what? For the 12 tribes of the Hebrew nation. All right, verse 4.
Then Yahshua called the 12 men whom he had prepared of the children of Israel out of every tribe a man.
There Yahweh goes again. Out of the 12 tribes, he took one man from each tribe.
Right.
So you see now why the world is so interested in interracial or trying to get you or me to go with another ethnic group. Because they want to get rid of this 12 tribes and they don't want, and then people are saying, well, the tribe's been mixed up, slavery and this and that. You don't know what tribe you are. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Praise be to Yahweh.
Because Yahweh said where the different tribes would be.
Yes, it is.
He just happened to say that those of us that are in North America happen to be of the tribe of Yehuda.
Hallelujah.
Which was Yehuda, Benjamin, and part Levi, the priestly tribe.
Hallelujah.
So those of us whose forefathers were in slavery, we know what tribe we come from, all right? And you can just put it under the blanket of Yehuda. We're the priestly tribe.
Hallelujah.
And those of us that are straight arrows, the ones that are here every Shabbat, the ones that are standing up and doing exactly what Yahweh said, you can tell the priesthood is in your blood.
Hallelujah.
All right?
Praise the mighty Yah.
So it says, then Yahshua called the 12 Hadam, whom he had prepared of the children of Israel, one of every tribe of man. So if you had the slave master come in and rape your mother or rape your father, whatever, you have every generation to hook up with a Shemite. So it don't matter about the slave, whatever. Being
right, right.
Some people tell you, well, see, you're light skinned, so this and this and this. Well, the bottom line is, I didn't marry no Caucasian. I married another Shemite.
Hallelujah.
So every generation we have that option or that commandment that Yahweh said to hook back up with the Shemite.
That right?
All right? I couldn't stop the slave master from raping whoever he raped in my family, but I can do it in my generation.
Hallelujah.
And you can do it in your generation.
That blood line back through.
There you go. See? So that makes no difference whatsoever.
Right.
All right, verse 5.
And Yahshua said unto them, pass over before the ark of Yahweh, your Elohim, into the midst of Jordan, and take ye up every man of you a stone upon his shoulder, according unto the number of the tribe of the children of Israel.
Again, this is a foundational truth. These 12 tribes of the Hebrew nation. Yahshua was saying, take up every man of you a stone upon his shoulder, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel. All right, verse 6.
That this may be a sign among you, that when your children ask their father in time to come, saying, what mean ye by these stones?
Verse 7.
Then ye shall answer them, that the waters of Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of Yahweh. When it passed over Jordan, the waters of Jordan were cut off. And these stones shall be for a memorial unto the children of Israel forever.
So this is what Yahweh is setting up in our nation.
Right.
And they're still set up, just because the majority of the Hebrews don't know about it.
Right.
They're still set up.
Right.
So that's why we're studying about
Hallelujah.
it. And we're bringing them out to the forefront. Well, we're going to find out this is something eternal.
Yes, it is.
These 12 tribes are something that's eternal.
Yes,
it hasn't changed.
Not with Yah.
All right, so Yahweh wants us to understand about this. Let's
Yes,
go to 1 Kings, the 18th chapter. He wants us to understand about our Hebrew nation. 1 Kings 18. And the 12 tribes are an integral part of the Hebrew nation. 1 Kings 18. And we want to start reading at verse 30.
Hallelujah.
1 Kings 18. And verse 30, please.
Praise
And
Yahweh.
Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him. And he repaired the altar of Yahweh that was broken down.
Verse 31.
And Elijah took 12 stones according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Yaakov, unto whom the word of Yahweh came, saying, Yisrael shall be thy name.
All right, now here is Aliyah. Doing the same thing over here in Kings,
Right,
talking about
right.
the 12 tribes of the Hebrews, or the 12 tribes of Israel. Said, and Aliyah Amar unto all Ha'am, come near unto me, and all Ha'am came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of Yahweh that was broken down. Now, when you read this factual account, what you find out is that the prophets of Baal, serving these, worshiping these pagan deities,
Right.
were in a contest with him.
Yeah.
And Yahweh was showing who he was,
Right.
and letting them know that these men had gotten off, and Aliyah was standing up, letting them know about the 12 tribes and letting them know that they were Hebrews, and so he did this demonstration. But you see in the demonstration it says 31, and Aliyah took 12 stones, what? According to the number of the tribes of the sons of Yaakov. Well, now we know those are what? 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
Or the 12 tribes of Hebrews. Again, this is Hebrew History Month.
Yes, it is.
All right. Unto whom Hadabar of Yahweh came, Amar, Yisrael shall be thy Shem.
Right.
We just read that over in Bereshit
That
in
right.
Genesis, where he changed Yaakov's name to Yisrael. Verse 32.
And with the stones he built an altar in the name of Yahweh, and he made a trench about the altar as great as would contain 2 measures of seed.
All right. 33.
And he put the wood in order and cut the bullock in pieces and laid him on the wood and said, fill 4 barrels with water and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood.
All right. 34.
And he said, do it the second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, do it the third time. And they did it the third time.
Now here's Aliyah, and the Ruach is telling him, okay, set this up now. He's got this sacrifice. So again, he's got all these pagan priests,
Right,
which
right.
were Israel,
Right.
serving false deities.
Just like today.
And so he's going to give him a demonstration of who the Elohim of the Hebrews,
Kaya Elohim.
who their Elohim really is.
Right.
Which this what this lesson is about. These presentations during this time are about.
Yes.
Let our people know who their mighty one really is.
Yes.
So he told them, okay, cut the sacrifice up, put the wood now, pour water on the wood, drench it with water. He said, not only one time, he said, do it again the second time. Then he said, do it the third time.
Right.
So they drenched the water with wood. They drenched the wood with water, because then they're thinking, oh well, there's no way this will burn.
Right.
But what he was doing was setting them up so then they could see Yahweh
Right.
come to work.
Praise.
The Elohim of the
Mighty
Hebrews,
Yah.
who is our Elohim.
Yes.
All right, verse 35.
And the water ran round about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water.
So there's water everywhere.
Right.
The water is overflowing. The wood is soaked.
That's right.
All right, verse 36.
And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Yahweh Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and of Yisrael, let it be known this day that thou art Elohim in Yisrael, and that I am thy servant,
Yes.
and that I have done all these things at thy word.
Hallelujah.
37.
Hear me, O Yahweh, hear me, that this people may know that thou art Yahweh Elohim, and that thou hast turned their hearts back.
Hallelujah.
Again, see, this is what Hebrew History Month is about. Turning people's hearts,
Yes,
turning people's
back
minds
to
back to
Yahweh.
Yahweh. It said it came to pass at the offering of the evening sacrifice, which we understand from Yahweh's word is 3 o'clock
Right.
in the afternoon.
That right.
It says that Aliyah Hanabi came near and Amar, Yahweh Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, and of Yisrael. So these are Hebrews that he's talking about.
Right.
Let it be Yada this Yom that thou art Elohim in Yisrael, and I am thy Eved, just like we are, and that I have done these things at thy Dabar. 37. Shamar me, O Yahweh, shamar me, that this am may Yada, that thou art Yahweh Elohim, and that thou hast turned their mind back to him again.
Hallelujah.
Away from all these paganisms.
Right.
And realize they are Hebrews.
Yes.
All right? And he is the creator in heaven.
Yes,
All right?
he is.
Verse 38.
Then the fire of Yahweh fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stone, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench.
Then Yahweh flashed his badge.
That's
Yahweh
right.
showed
He showed up
up.
and
It said,
showed
then
up.
the fire of Yahweh came down from Shemayim, consumed the sacrifice, the burnt sacrifice. Now, the fire burnt the sacrifice even though it was waterlogged.
Right.
And the wood,
Huh.
and the stones,
I
and
know,
the
right?
dust, and it licked up the mayim that was in the trench.
Huh.
Again, the water was overflowing in the
Right,
trench.
right.
It licked it up.
Huh.
So the people looking would have no doubt, like, whoa, this is something that then they would know. He said, then that's how Yahweh does it. He let you know who He is.
Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes.
Verse 39.
And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, Yahweh, He is the Elohim. Yahweh, He is Elohim.
And all the people saw it, that's right, and they fell on their faces and said, Yahweh, He is the Elohim. Yahweh, He is the Elohim. And guess what? He's the Elohim of the Hebrews.
Yes.
That's us.
Hallelujah.
All right, let's go to Ezekiel 47. Ezekiel or Yechezkel 47.
Praise be to the
Hallelujah.
mighty Yah.
Hebrew History Month.
Now and
Put the truth
forever.
out there. Right, it's
Wants
time.
it to be known. Wake up, people.
Ezekiel 7. We want to start at verse 13.
Hallelujah.
Ezekiel 47 and verse 13, please.
Thus says Yahweh Elohim, this shall be the border whereby ye shall inherit the land according to the 12 tribes of Yisrael. Yahshua shall have 2 portions.
All right, so here we're reading again about the 12 tribes of Yisrael.
Right.
It said, thus amar Yahweh Elohim, this shall be the border whereby ye shall inherit the land according to the 12 tribes of Yisrael. Then he said, Yahshua shall have 2 portions. So now something happened with 2 tribes, and bless Yahweh, I was speaking with the brother Andre Israel,
Praise
on the
Yahweh.
Lost Sheep in Prison Ministry, and he refreshed my memory about how 2 tribes got kicked out.
Yep.
There was 12 tribes in Genesis that are named Genesis 49, but there's 2 tribes got kicked out for gross idolatry.
Okay.
One of them was Dan and the other was Gad. So this is why it says Yahshua has 2 portions. And Ephraim and Manasseh, which were the 2 sons that he had
Right.
by an Egyptian wife. Now, when we read the scripture of Revelation, where it talks about the city New Jerusalem has foundation for the 12 tribes of Israel, so they're the ones that took Dan and Gad's place. But there's still 12 tribes of Hebrews. All right?
Right.
Which is the same as the 12 tribes of Israel. All right? It says, thus amar Yahweh Elohim, this shall be the border whereby ye shall inherit the land, talking about the land of Israel, according to the 12 tribes of Israel, but Yahshua shall have 2 portions. All right, verse 14.
And ye shall inherit it, one as well as another, concerning the which I lifted up my hand to give it unto your fathers. And this land shall fall unto you for inheritance.
What Yahweh is showing us is that He gave the land of Israel, He's saying to your fathers. He's talking about the Hebrew fathers.
Right.
Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And He gave it to the Hebrew people.
Yep.
So the land of Israel actually belongs to us.
Yes, it does.
All right? Now, the 12 tribes of the Hebrew nation is a foundational truth in the earth, but guess what? The 12 tribes of the Hebrews is a foundational truth in the kingdom.
That's right.
Let's go to Exodus 24. So it's not only natural, it's supernatural.
Yes, it is.
It's not only natural, it's spiritual. The 12 tribes of the Hebrew nation is a foundational truth in the kingdom. Exodus 24. And we're gonna start at verse 4. Exodus 24.
Yeah.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Him.
Exodus 24, and let's read verse 4, please.
And Moshe wrote all the words of Yahweh, and rose up early in the morning, and built an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel.
All right. Moshe wrote all 100 bar of Yahweh and rose up early in the morning and built an altar under the hill and 12 pillars. Here we go again with these 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
So the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 tribes of Hebrews is important.
Yes, it is.
All right, verse 5.
And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offer burnt offerings and sacrifice peace offering of oxen unto Yahweh.
All right, so now see, we're transitioning now into the spiritual thing.
Right.
All right, because these 12, he built an altar on these 12 pillars, which were the 12 tribes of Israel. And then he's talking about he sent young Adam of Haban of Israel to offer burnt offerings and sacrifice shalom offerings to who? Yahweh. So we're transitioning, and again, this is an eternal.
Yes, it is.
These 12 tribes is an eternal
Yes,
principle.
they are. Yes, we
All right,
are.
now they're offering offerings unto Yahweh. All right, verse 6.
And Moshe took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar.
And now he's bringing in the blood, and
Right.
he's taking half of the dam, he's putting it in the basin, and taking half of the dam, putting it on the altar. He's making a covenant
That's right.
with the Hebrews, or with Israel, with this blood.
Yep.
All right? But again, using this foundational, the 12 tribes, as a foundational truth. All
Yes.
right, verse 7.
And he took the book of the covenant and read it in the audience of the people, and they said, all that Yahweh has said will we do, and be obedient.
Verse 8.
And Moshe took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which Yahweh has made with you concerning all these words.
So here, again, there's no covenant without blood.
blood.
And here Yahweh is making the covenant. It said he took the book of Ibryi and read it in the audience of I am, and they are all that Yahweh hath amar will we do and be obedient.
Yes, it's
We
a
came
must.
under that same
It's
covenant.
a must.
We said the same thing.
Yes.
Not only said it, but we're doing it.
That's it. Gotta
Just like
live it.
all of Yahweh's people.
That's it.
And it says that Moshe took Hadam and sprinkled it. He has sprinkled the altar, now he's sprinkling on the people.
That right.
All right? And Amar, behold, Hadam of Habarith, which Yahweh had made with you,
Okay.
concerning all these debar.
Praise
all right?
the
Let's
mighty
go
God.
to the Kadash Barith, a New Testament, to Matthew's the 19th chapter.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Catch it up.
19. Yep.
Show it. No, there's no mess without blood.
It's supernatural principle.
Yup.
It's there, the 12 tribes. It's a foundational principle in the earth and in the kingdom.
Got it right.
Matthew 19. I'm going to read one verse, verse 28. Matthew
Hallelujah.
19, verse 28.
Praise Yahweh.
8.
And Yahshua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Yisrael.
And those 12 thrones again. Must be one person out of every tribe again, right?
Yeah.
Same principle he was using in the Zikna Barit, the Old Testament.
Right.
And Yahshua marred to them, verily I am marred to you, those that ye have followed me, which have followed me in the regeneration, when Haban of Adam shall sit in the throne of his kavod. He's talking about the resurrection, talking about us in the first resurrection. Ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
Let's go to Luke, the 22nd chapter.
Praise be to the mighty Yah.
So this is talking about in the kingdom.
That right.
Talking about the white throne judgment.
Hallelujah.
Luke 22. Right before we go off into eternity. Actually, we will have been in eternity 4,000 years.
Yes.
Because we'll be in the first resurrection.
Praise
22.
the mighty Yah.
And this is after the 1,000-year millennium. In that short space.
Yah right.
Then
Answer the
the white
no.
throne judgment.
Tell it like it is.
Luke 22, and let's start at verse 29.
Hallelujah.
Luke 22 and verse 29.
And I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Abba hath appointed unto me.
See, Yahshua said, now I've appointed, I've given you a kingdom.
Right, right.
All right, you talking to his people, Hebrews.
All right.
All right, verse 30.
That ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
All right, so he's saying the same thing that he said in Matthitya.
Right,
But
right.
now he also mentioned the marriage supper of the Lamb. He said that ye may eat and drink at my table in my malkuth, in my kingdom.
And his.
And you go read in Revelation about the marriage supper of the Lamb and how the bride has made herself ready. And
Right, right.
Yahshua is the bridegroom and they come together. All right, hallelujah. And he said, not only that, sit on the thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Let's go to Revelation, the 21st chapter. So it's not like, okay, there's only 12 tribes, or 12 tribes on the earth, then you're not going to hear anything more about them. Yes, you are. Matter of fact, Yahweh's going to show us he's built that city, New Jerusalem,
Right, right.
to help people remember and always keep in mind the 12 tribes.
Uh-huh.
Revelation 21,
Praise
And-
the mighty Yah.
we want to start at verse 12.
Hallelujah.
Revelation 21,
Hallelujah.
and let's read verse 12, please.
And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Yahweh just like that number 12. Especially when he's talking about those tribes. 12 tribes, 12 tribes, 12 tribes. It says, had a wall great and high. This is talking about New Jerusalem. You read up further in the chapter and then you can see what it's talking about, which is going to come down to be on the new heaven and new earth after this earth gets burned up. Then what people call heaven or the kingdom is actually going to come down on the earth
All right.
and be on the earth.
That's it.
Right.
It said it had a wall great and high, and it had 12 gates. There it is again. At the gates, 12 angels, but there was names on the gate. What's the names written on the gate? The names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, or the children of the Hebrews.
Yes.
That's right.
Yahweh, and this is going to be for eternity.
Yes, it is.
See, Yahweh's not the 12 tribes are not going anywhere.
Never, never,
Not the
never
righteous,
had.
not the righteous ones
Nope.
of those tribes. All right, verse 13.
And on the east 3 gates, on the north 3 gates, on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates.
All right, verse 14.
And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb.
So you're doing it this 12 again, and now somebody is having the 12 disciples
Right, right.
of Yahshua on the wall. The wall of the city had 12 foundations. So on the foundations, you got 12. And it's not a coincidence that Yahshua, when he came, he went and picked how many disciples?
12.
See, Yahweh is doing something here.
Right, right.
All right, let's go back to Exodus, the 19th chapter. So Yahweh does things for the Hebrew nation that he doesn't do for any other nation on the earth.
Right, right.
That's why we're going to find out everybody and their mama and daddy, sister, brother, want to be a Hebrew or
Yep.
claim they are the Hebrews.
Yep.
Exodus 19.
Hallelujah.
Where are you from?
All except Israel.
Yeah, yeah. He's going to show us it's backwards and upside down. Everybody claiming they are the
Yep.
Hebrews.
And they're not.
But that's why Yahweh wrote this book. So
That's right.
no mistaken about who the Hebrews are.
Hallelujah.
So Yahweh does things on earth in Exodus 19 for the Hebrew nation that he doesn't do for any other nation.
I know, right?
Let's start at verse 27. Exodus
Hallelujah.
19,
Hallelujah.
17. I want 17. Exodus 19, I want to start at verse 17.
Praise Yahweh.
Exodus 19 and verse 17, please.
And Moshe brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with Elohim, and they stood at the nether part of the mount.
Okay, 18.
And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Yahweh descended upon it in fire. And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly.
Now, what Yahweh getting ready to do? He does stuff for the Hebrew nation. He doesn't do it anybody else.
No, he doesn't.
He's getting ready to come down and meet the
I know,
people.
right?
It said, and Moshe brought forth the people. He's talking about the nation of Israel,
Right.
the nation of Hebrews,
All right.
out of the camp to do what? To meet with Elohim, to meet with Yahweh. Who does that? No other nation but the Hebrews.
Noah.
It says, and they stood at the nether part of the mount or mountain. And Mount Sinai was altogether smoking.
I know,
It
right?
was smoking because Yahweh descended upon it in fire.
Okay.
And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace. So it was just like they were looking at some of those volcanoes.
Yeah.
It was smoking. Except they knew that, okay, that's Yahweh right there.
Right.
Smoking. It scared them. I mean, they were just,
Yeah.
they were just scared, emotion, and all of us would have been.
Yeah.
All right? It said, and the whole mount was quaking greatly. So the ground was shaking,
I
the
know,
mount was
right?
shaking, and it's smoking. All right? And then Moshe's telling them, hey, Yahweh's coming down to meet you. That's him. All right? Verse 19.
And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moshe spake, and Elohim answered him by a voice.
Now you got the shofar blowing. So you see why we get the shofar?
Right,
we
right.
got the shofar.
Gotta know that sound.
That's the Hebrews. This is the Hebrews' horn.
Right.
This is the nation of Israel's horn.
Hallelujah.
It says, and when the voice of the shofar, it's not talking about them things that the Gentiles made, that, you know.
Trumpet,
No, it's talking about the ram's horn.
Right.
The shofar. When the shofar sounded long and it waxed louder and louder, then Moshe Amar, and it says, and Elohim answered him by a voice. So you got the mountain burning, you got it shaking, and then they heard a voice.
Blast.
They could have just passed out. I'm sure some of them probably did.
Yeah,
All right, verse 20.
And Yahweh came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mount. And Yahweh called Moshe up to the top of the mount. And Moshe went up.
And you know that's a man that trusted Yahweh.
Right.
Here, the mountain smoking and it's quaking.
I know, right?
And it says, and Yahweh came down upon Mount Sinai on top of the mountain. Yahweh called Moshe up to the top of the mountain. He went up.
Yes.
All right? That's trusting Yahweh.
Yes, it is, like we do.
That's right.
Attaching
He
Yahweh.
develops that trust in us.
Yes.
As we're here on the earth and we go through different things.
Yes.
All right, because we're preparing to meet him.
Hallelujah.
All right, let's go to Exodus 20.
Praise the mighty God.
Hallelujah. But he doesn't do this for any other nation.
No,
he
he
only
does
does
not.
this for us, the Hebrews.
Only the eyebrow of his eye.
Exodus 20. And let's start at verse 18. We're going
Hallelujah.
to continue with the same factual
Hallelujah.
account. The same meeting with Yahweh. Exodus 20 and verse 18.
And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off.
You better. That's respect.
Yeah.
But even then, Yahweh had to caution Moshe and tell him, look, go down and tell the people don't come any further.
Right.
Because you got some people that's just ignorant. Some just like to just go run and see. I remember years ago, at our first Bible class, there was a lady saying she heard some shots or something right outside her door. And then she had this tall door where you look through the glass, and then she's looking. And then she came and confessed and said, you know what, I'm glad, Yahweh, well, we were using G-O-D. He saved me, because that was real ignorant for me to get to come and look when somebody's, popping the shots right out there. But that's just a natural reaction that our flesh, sometimes does.
Yep.
Says, all I am saw the thunderings. So there was thunder and lightning,
I know, right?
as well as the burning mount, and the noise of the shofar, and the mountain smoking. And when I am saw it, they removed and stood afar off. Healthy respect for Yahweh.
Yeah.
Let's always keep that healthy
That's
respect for
it.
Yahweh.
That's all he has.
That's right. Verse 19.
And they said unto Moshe, speak thou with us, and we will hear. but let not Elohim speak with us, lest we die.
Ooh, look at that. They said, you know what, Moshe, you talk to Yahweh for us. Don't let him. They were just scared out of their mind. You talk to us, and don't let Yahweh talk with us unless we die. All right, verse 20.
And Moshe said unto the people, fear not, for Elohim is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not.
So he's saying, this is why Yahweh's letting you see this.
Right.
And then Yahweh has us go through some things. He doesn't bring them. Right. He just has us go through some things so we can really, really understand that it's him.
Hallelujah.
He's real and he's dealing with us.
That brought us through.
He said, Moshe Amar to Ha'am, don't be afraid.
Right.
But Elohim's come to prove you, and that his respect, his dread.
Right.
Just knowing his power, just
right?
seeing this so you never forget it. And then that will help you to obey him. So it'll be maybe before your face that you hata not.
Okay.
When you think about, man, that's all mountain smoking and that's all thunder and lightning, and so then that was to help them. It wasn't to scare them, it was to help them.
Right.
All right, verse 21.
And the people stood afar off, and Moshe drew near unto the thick darkness where Elohim was.
All right, 22.
And Yahweh said unto Moshe, thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, ye have seen that I have talked with you from Shemaiah.
Right, and they couldn't deny it. It was right there in front of their face. He said the people stood afar off, and Moshe drew near to the thick darkness where Yahweh was. And Yahweh amar unto Moshe, thou shalt amar unto Haban of Israel, you've seen that I've talked with you from Shemaiah. And he's saying, don't forget it.
Right.
All right, Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. But no other nation, Yahweh doesn't do that to any other people.
No, he hasn't.
Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter.
Praise the mighty Yah.
We're going to read one verse, verse 33. And here's the question he even asks. Does he treat anybody else like his nation of Israel or the Hebrews? No, he doesn't.
Never have, never will.
Deuteronomy 4 and verse 33.
Hallelujah.
Did ever people hear the voice of Elohim speaking out of the midst of the fire, as thou hast heard and lived?
So he's having Moshe recount
Right.
what happened and what they saw. And he's asking them, did ever any people on the earth hear the voice of Yahweh speaking out of the midst of the fire, as you have heard talking to our forefathers, the Hebrews,
Right.
and Kaya and live?
Right.
No. Haven't before that time or since that time. Never will. Why? Because he's dealing with the Hebrews.
Hallelujah.
He's dealing with us, the nation. All right? So let's go to the New Testament again, Matthew's the 5th chapter. So Yahweh told the Hebrews he is their father.
Yeah. He is.
Yes, he told us.
You be obedient to
Now,
daddy.
if somebody come back to you talking about he's not your father, you tell them speak for yourself.
That right? God right?
And the Bible says, and get away from me, you B-E-S-T-E-R-E.
That's right.
Yahweh said he's our father.
Right?
Matthew 5. And he taught these Hebrew disciples, just like he's teaching us,
Hallelujah.
to call him Father when we pray to him.
That right?
All right, Matthew 5, let's read verse 1.
Hallelujah.
And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came unto him.
2.
And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying.
Now, who's he talking to? We read these 2 verses so we know who he was talking to. He was talking to Hebrews.
That's right. The 12.
He's talking to the 12 Hebrews that he chose for his disciples.
Right.
They saw the multitude. He went up into a mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came to him. So he wasn't talking to the multitude. He was talking to the Hebrews, the disciples. All right, skip down. Let's to chapter 6. And let's read verse 6. So he's teaching them how to pray.
Hallelujah.
Matthew 6, and we'll start at verse 6.
Praise the mighty Yah.
But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, And when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Abba which is in secret, and thy Abba which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly.
Yes.
He's
Hallelujah.
saying,
Yes, he
when
will.
you pray,
Yes,
he's just telling you, okay, the position that you take.
right.
And he's saying, shut your door, and then halal to your Abba,
Right.
which is in secret, that your Abba, which seeth in secret, shall reward you openly.
Yes, he will. Yes, he has.
All right, skip down to verse 9.
After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Abba, which art in Shemaiah, hallowed be thy name.
And he said, when you pray, call him your Father.
That right?
Our Father. He's talking to the Hebrews.
Okay.
Our Father.
Hallelujah.
Not only those of us that have it naturally, we still have to convert and become spiritual.
That right,
Hebrews.
that right.
But he's talking to the other nationalities
That right.
naturally that convert to become spiritual
That's
Hebrews.
it. That's
So either
it.
way, it's good that he made us natural Hebrews, but that's not going to get us into
That's
the
not
kingdom.
good enough for him.
We have to be double branded.
That right.
And so whatever other nationality, they become spiritual Hebrews. But he said, this is how you halal, and this is how you pray.
That right.
You say, our Father,
Hallelujah.
which art in heaven. He said to pray and call him Father. Go to 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians, the 6th chapter.
Hallelujah.
2 Corinthians
Praise
6.
the mighty Yah. Forever and ever, now and
Yes,
forever.
praise him. He told the Hebrews he is their Father.
Yes,
2
he
Corinthians
is.
6 and verse 18.
Hallelujah.
And will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith Yahweh Elohim.
All right, so I will be an Abba unto you, and you shall be my Ban and my Beth, Amar Yahweh El Shaddai.
Okay.
He's saying it again. Go to 3 John, the 4th chapter. 3 John, the 1st chapter. So for those people that say you can't have any personal relationship with Yahweh, well, I pity them. They
I
can't.
know, right?
Because they don't believe what
You don't
Yahweh's
believe.
telling them.
That's it. He said, just believe.